Hello, this is Robert again. I'm back with my second speech, my persuasive speech. Um, Unfortunately, I will not have an actual audience today, but I will go ahead and proceed to do the speech without. Um, my speech is about college athletes, student athletes, and should they be paid for their playing and participation in sports that they play. The general purpose of this speech is to persuade, as you may know. The specific purpose of this speech is to persuade my listeners to question whether or not they should be played or should be paid to play. And the central idea of this speech is college athletes should be compensated for their performances abilities. That's my personal opinion, but we are going to examine both sides and see exactly if they should be paid or not to play. Let's see. College athletes are just as gifted as professionals, so in my personal opinion, I would definitely say that they should be paid. Maybe not as much as the professionals, but they should definitely receive some type of compensation for their abilities. Let's see. They play and practice just as hard as they do, so I mean, you would think that they should receive some type of compensation for that. Their will to win is exemplified not only on the field or on the court or wherever they may actually play in their respective sport, but also in the classroom as well. Outside of that, their will to win and their determination to succeed is exemplified in that as well. Let's see. These athletes' likenesses are used in video games, many that I've played personally, and I'm pretty sure some of my classmates may have played as well. But yeah, their likenesses are used in these video games, and they don't receive any profit for it, which I feel is wrong. But that's just going back to why these people should be paid and compensated for their performances. Let's see. Uh, there's actually an article I came across on the Shirley Povich Center for Sports Journalism, basically stating, there's arguments going against paying college athletes or student athletes due to the fact that they are student athletes, and people feel that their education would be compensation for them playing a sport. Like that's enough for them to, continue to play the sport and not really demand compensation. Let's see. Now we will examine why these students should be paid for their talents. There's actually another article I came across with Johnson Aquaviva. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but Aquaviva. They make the point that between weight training, between sessions, weight training sessions, film rooms, practice, individual workouts, traveling, there is a lot of demand on these particular athletes. And with that being said, they don't really feel like students. I mean, they feel more so like they're already in the professional leagues. And with that being the case, how much can they feel like a student? So that was their argument in the whole debate. In defense of this argument, though, the athletes are not able to get the same value of education that, say, a business major would get or a nursing student would get. Like they're not able to receive that actual education that they would get per se. The NCAA and their schools, they directly profit from sales of video games, licenses, game merchandise, apparel, anything that is college related. The NCAA, that organization, and the actual schools profit all of that money from those direct sales. Students never see a penny of that money. Let's see. Even with a full scholarship, an athlete can pay anywhere between $8,000 to $12,000 or more in expenses due to traveling, due to daily living expenses, their needs, food, things of that sort. They may spend close to that amount in a full year term, full 4 year term. Excuse me. Apologize. Without an extra income, students can barely afford to pay for what they need. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's pretty clear. These students definitely need some kind of second income to help fund and help pay for the things that they need. So what can we do to change all of this? There's actually a few things we can do. There's actually an article that I found on ESPN.com that was written by, looks like Jamil Hill. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but Jamil Hill. It's called, the title of the article is A Call to Action for College Athletes. And she explains that action can be taken, but it will require commitment, planning, patience, and sacrifice in order to make this happen for these athletes. It will come with great risk, as any sacrifice would. Let's see, it would make college athletes vulnerable to ridicule and criticism, but the overall goal of this would be just to get these students what they deserve, I feel personally, which would be paid in compensation to play. College athletes could organize a mass boycott in order for this change to happen. Like, their voices need to be heard, and the only way that's going to happen is if they actually do stage a mass boycott, and just let the NCAA hear their voices and let them know, like, look, we are here, we are representing your schools, and we are here to play hard for you guys and represent, but at the same time, we need something out of this as well too. Education goes a long way, and getting a higher education is important, but at the same time, how are we going to be able to feed ourselves? How are we going to be able to pay for the things that we need if we're not getting some type of money? Let's see. Action needs to be taken immediately for these students to actually see, some change in this. Otherwise, this is going to continue to happen. This is going to be a prevalent problem, for the NCAA, for the teams and the players themselves. I mean, they need money for daily living expenses just like any other person would need it. Just like that business student would need, or just like that medical assistant student would need. They, as well, in turn, need money to fund, their daily expenses and everything. So, but that would pretty much be the overall persuasive speech that I have to present. Unfortunately, I didn't have a actual audience, but I wanted to go ahead and present as well and go ahead and get my grade for this. I actually do have a few visual aids that I put together in a PowerPoint presentation that I'm not actually able to load up on my screen due to the fact that I'm recording right now, but I will show the printouts that I did for it. There's actually a printout for, it looks like the NCAA College Football 14 game cover for both Xbox 360 and PS3. And as you can see, they do have, I'm not sure who that actual player is. He looks like he plays for Michigan though. They do have a player on here, and pretty much all the money that comes from these players never receive any profit, but their likenesses are used in these particular games and everything. So that would definitely be an example of, colleges taking advantage of these students and using their likenesses and not paying them for it. Another slide would be right here, which is the basketball counterpart, NCAA College Hoops 2K13. I wasn't able to find the 14, but I got the 13. And as you can see, once again, they have a player on the cover, and pretty much, yeah, these players aren't going to see any money from this. They're just pretty much going to be, used in a sense. But I know a lot of people argue, well, this is what they signed up for, this is what they knew they would get into, but at the same time, doesn't make it right. No, in my honest opinion, it doesn't make it right. And I have just some screenshots from the NCAA football game right here. Don't know if it's visible or not. There we go. But there is some screenshots. And I know I've gone over the allotted time of 6 minutes, but I just wanted to go ahead and get the visual aids in here as well. And we have the screenshots for the NCAA basketball right here. And then of course I have NCAA logo and the ESPN logo. And all this would have been put together, as an actual slide presentation. So, but once again, my name is Robert Sorrell, and that would be my persuasion speech on why college athletes should be paid. Like I said, I definitely did my research, and I, did some thorough research on the subject, and just came to the conclusion. Oh yes, in my actual bibliography, my sites and everything, I actually have them right here. I have the Shirley Povich Center for Sports Journalism. There's actually a website I went to that I listed in my outline. I have the Dennis Johnson and the John Aquaviva, their actual point counterpoint paying college athletes article. I have believe the link listed for that as well. And then I have Miss Jamil Hill, her actual commentary on ESPN.com. I have the link for that as well, and where I retrieved that. And I actually have a link for the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, also known as the SAAC. For more information about them and what they do, I do have a link listed in the outline as well. You can click on that and take you directly to their main webpage. And that will be all. So I hope you enjoyed the presentation, the speech. Once again, I went over it a lot of time. I just want to get everything in there. And once again, I apologize for not actually having an audience, but I just want to present my speech. So thank you, and have a great day.